So we have a number of horses getting ready to qualify. I planned on training Adrenaline Rush at Mohawk in 59, but I screwed up. Jason was busy and had asked me to enter Adrenaline Rush and Better's Hope into train on Friday because we were hoping to have the drone on Saturday, and I forgot. So instead, we'll put them into qualify. You're likely looking at two qualifiers. So I'll go with Better's Hope and Adrenaline Rush on Thursday, I guess. They train in the bike on Saturday. We'll go with them on Thursday, look for a mile about 58, 59, and then we'll likely come back for another similar mile, maybe a little quicker for Adrenaline Rush. He's going to have to be up to 54 speed before we drop him in the box because he's going to have to race in the non-winners of 2. I think he only won 1. So Adrenaline Rush is going to qualify on Thursday. In my opening, I said he trained this week. Upon further review, I screwed up, and he'll be in to qualify on Thursday. Barbie's Crown will likely race Friday in London. Hopefully London picks up Flamborough's Saturday date also. I would think Barbie's Crown will be in Friday or Saturday. Better's Hope, as I said, will qualify on Thursday. He's trained in 2.5 twice now at the farm. Pretty good mile at the farm. I think they'll come back. We'll come back, go mile 59 or so with him on Thursday. Blue Monk is gone to Carmen Osceola's barn. He'll likely be racing this week. So excited to see how he makes out. Braemar, I don't know Braemar. I think I'm leaning into not sending Braemar to Pennsylvania right away. I just don't see the necessity in it. He qualified in 56. He was okay, but is he ready to pace 52, 53? Are we ready to ask him to do that? No, that's unfair. So I think what we'll do is we'll race him this week and see what comes after that. Brilliant Corners trained in 2.6 in the jog cart. This colt looks good. I know I only went in 18 with him. I saw him train a couple of times slow. Harry said he was awesome in the race, or in that jog cart at Mohawk. Ready to rock. What else we got? Broadway Roll is heading to the Travis and Maddie Henry Burn to race in London next week. Can't Muscle Me will qualify this coming week. Just wasn't 100% the other day, so we didn't go with her. She will go Thursday at Mohawk. Captain's Maid will be heading to Pennsylvania. She is in to go Wednesday. She's back in 6 days with a shipping in between. She'll be tight, but Captain's Maid will be heading to Pennsylvania. Cut the Line will not be heading to Pennsylvania, at least not with us. This filly is up for sale, and we will sell her in very short order. First Glance, training down well. I suspect he's in a very similar time frame to Brilliant Corners, Adrenaline Rush, and No Free Lunch in those horses. So he should be getting very close. Fox Valley Britska is off this week. I'm toying with the idea of maybe taking him home. The non-winners of 2 at Flamborough and London are much easier than the non-winners of 2 at Northfield Park. They go around 58. That's where Rooney Blue Chip and them are racing. So to ask Fox Valley Britska to do that is unfair. As far as Indiana, I don't think he's good enough to go to Indiana just yet. He's going to need a little more work. Having said that, before I make any rash decisions, I am going to be talking to Irv and see what he thinks about Indiana, see what he thinks about Fox Valley Britska before we send him on any trucks. We'll make sure that we're heading in the right direction. And just to further to that, I have a lot of people that are saying, well, if they're not stake horses, are they any good? Let me be as clear as I can. If you're not one of the best grassroots horses, there's no point racing in the grassroots. If you're not a sire stake horse, there's no point racing in the sire stakes. That certainly does not mean you're not a useful horse in any way, shape, or form. A horse like Fox Valley Britska absolutely is a very useful animal. And if he doesn't go to Indiana racing stake races, I don't care. As long as he can race where he can win, where he can do his work best and be rewarded for it. And if that's not Indiana or Northfield or anywhere, that's fine. I know he can do the non-winners of 2 right here. And it's not non-winners of 2 like it is at Northfield. It's non-winners of 2 or 20 here on the B tracks. So he can make 20 grand. Now, he doesn't get allowance on his earnings because he's 3 on the B tracks, but he does at Mohawk. So he can actually make almost 30 at or almost 25 at Mohawk and still stay in the non-winners of 2. So if he's a useful horse, there's lots of racing. I just see a very narrow pathway at Northfield Park, and I want to make sure we have him on the best path we can. Fairly Fringes, I had somebody say, is she ready for the series? No, she's not racing in the series. I told Tim we have a Glare AM and one My Heart Hanover in the series. Both of them can beat Fairly Fringes. So if we have two out of our barn that can beat her, what would be the point of racing her in the series right now? Race her where she can win. Make sure her foot's good, make sure her blood's good, make sure she's feeling good, and put her in the maiden. That's where Fox Valley Brits, that's where Fairly Fringes needs to go. Gray is the New Red is racing Sunday evening tonight at Northfield Park. I just want to see her get better. Show me progression. GW Chrome made a break the other day. Now, we had him in to qualify Thursday, and I'd said to Jason, hold on a second. He's a 3-year-old trotter that came unglued a little bit. Let's not rush to judgment. Have him in to qualify 2 days after he won a mile and 2-2. No, we're not doing that. Put the horse in next week, so that gives him 9 days. Collect his thoughts, figure out, make sure he's 100%, and then get him back into qualifying. Holy Chick was fantastic her last start. Mario's done a great job with her. She was awesome. Number of people saying, when's she going to Ohio? She'll be there. She'll be there for the Buckeye. There's no need to get her there before. She's racing for $17,000 every week, or 16 or 15 or whatever it is. Every week she goes behind the gate right here at home. So there's no need to have her to go to the Iron Maiden to race for $7,000 or to go to the Hackett where she's probably not good enough just yet. So I think we're on the right track for sure with Holy Chick. Very happy with her and very happy with the way Mario's handling her. Glare AM, can't say enough about her. She was awesome in her race. And even in her race, James said she wasn't as good as when she qualified. Her AST was a little high. That's just her. She's a big ball of nerves, but smart, powerful filly. I'd sent Tony Hall a message and said, Tim and I talked about it. He's going to list you on this filly. She's probably the best in the series, but I would like her raced easily. This filly can leave hard, but I don't want to see her on the front end. I'd rather see her driven just like how James drove her last week. Get away 4th or 5th, take your time, get her out in the outer flow, catch some cover, and let her sprint home. That's how I want to see a Glare AM raced, because it's a long year. She is Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible. She's paid into the Liberty Bell, all those series at the Meadows in Philadelphia. There's lots of racing for a Glare AM this year. Let's not take any out of the tank by beating horses she's supposed to beat in April. I'm a Lovely Lady is going to be racing this week. I had somebody say, well, the Iron Maiden races for nothing. Why aren't we just going to the Hackett? If she's good enough to go to the Hackett, she can go to the Hackett. But easy wins are what's best for this filly. These fillies, you think we just bring them out of the field, train them down, and bang, they're the same horse they were, except bigger, stronger, and faster than when we put them away. It doesn't work that way. And I'm a Lovely Lady. I'm not taking anything for granted. Yes, I believe she is better. Yes, I believe she's stronger and faster than she was last year. But I'm going to let her show us. I'm not going to demand it of her. So if she fits the Iron Maiden where she's going to win her way through, then that's where she should be. If she's good enough to go to the Hackett and she can win the Hackett, then that's where she'll go. But that will be up to Jason. Now the draw for the Hackett, fortunately for us, is the day after the Maiden. Show me. Show me you belong in the Hackett. So, and if you don't, we have a long year. Like the stakes still don't start for over a month for these horses. 3-4 weeks. So there's no rush for I'm a Lovely Lady. And I wanted to make that very clear to Jason. Don't feel under any pressure to make this horse the horse I said she was last year. No. Just make sure she's the best form of herself every time she goes on the track. That's all. So she's going to race in the Maiden on Tuesday. Italian Grit has gone down to Travis Henry. Probably race him a couple more times. At some point, we're likely going to price him, or we are going to either price him or take a look at what's best for Italian Grit. Is it racing here? That's fine with me. If it's going to Indiana, then that's where he can go also. But that's what we're going to do with Italian Grit. So he's headed down towards the London way for Maddie and Travis Henry, at least for the next few weeks. Jazzy Judy is back in the pool. Probably make an appointment where arrangements with Jimmy to get her shipped back. Every week I tell you I don't know where yet. Get her shipped back. I'm going to say shipped back to Ontario. For now. Tentatively. 60-40. Ontario's ahead right now. So Jazzy Judy will be making a move on her in the next week or so. Keystone Raven. I trained Keystone Raven in 2-4 at the farm. She was okay, but does she seem like she's going to come forward and be a stake horse? No. And I couldn't say that definitively before. I feel like an idiot just having this conversation now. Mario trained her back, said she had some tools to be a nice horse. I believe he's right. I believe she does. But what kind of tools? How good are they, and how fast can she go? It's a great question. She's okay. Either way, we'll qualify her. She'll probably go 1:02 on Thursday. Come back with her in... I'll see. She'll either qualify this Thursday or next Thursday. Either way, she'll qualify. Miss Meringue is jogging now. Looks good. We have her shot. She's back jogging. Probably start training her next weekend, a slow mile maybe. Mama Knows Best. A lot of people asking, where is she? What's she doing? Where is she? Jason didn't want to race her yet. Didn't want to take the chance of her making a break and missing the Hackett. She will be entered for the Hackett on Wednesday. She'll be schooling this week in, I'd say, 59 at Northfield Park. She'll be plenty tight and ready to go by the time she steps on the racetrack. I believe it's in Miami Valley. My Jazz, I told Jason also, do not rush this filly. If you want to put her on Lasix, put her on Lasix. Do not rush her, and make sure she is 100% the next time she goes behind the gate. So I suspect she'll train this week. She may even school, get scoped afterwards, make sure she's ready to go, and at that point she'll qualify. So for those out there crossing your fingers about the Hackett, I'm not really in a rush to get to the Hackett, and I could care less. What I am in a rush to do is get this filly to the track at 100%, and she certainly was not the last time she went behind the gate. No Free Lunch trained in 2.5 at Mohawk. He's getting very close. Harry will have him ready to go. He had said something smartly also. He said, where are we going to race him? He's got 1 or 2 wins, I think. Hopefully they'll start writing a 3-year-old class because, No Free Lunch definitely is too much money. I'm not racing him in the numbers of 3 or 50 with 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds that have been racing all along. It's not going to happen. So we have him aimed towards the OSS start, but that's not till June this year. How's that? End of May. So we'll see what takes place with No Free Lunch. We are going to take a close look at the classes before we get in too much of a hurry with him. Where are we at now? Perfect Record, or no, Northern Blizzard, trained in 2.8, looked awesome last week, popped a curb. We actually had both his curbs cryoed. So he'll start jogging Monday, very slow mile on Saturday. Maybe train him fast back in 2.6, 2.8, 2.10 the week after. He's a good 2 weeks from the races. This is only because of these curbs that were crowd, but they need a crowd. You can't rush them, and I'm glad it happened because when I went with him, still see a little bump in him now and again. Pretty sure that was the trigger. So Northern Blizzard pretty much ready to go, just polishing him up. Perfect Record was fantastic in his qualifier. A real breath of fresh air was Perfect Record on Thursday. Wow. Really impressed with what he did and how he did it. What else do we got here? Rose Run Why Not, same category as Miss Meringue, jogging now, probably start training next Saturday. We'll see how both of those fillies go. Cyrus Blue Chip James trained him in 2:01 at the farm. He will qualify on Thursday. Different horse, looks better. Obviously, still a little rolly, but still looks much better than he did last year, and strong. So we'll see how he qualifies. I suspect a mile 59, 58 at Mohawk, and then we'll make a decision whether he's going to race in the maiden at Mohawk or whether he'll go to a smaller track. I suspect now that I say it, you guys know, he'll likely go to a smaller track his first start out. So Admirable, we're going to wait out that deadline of April 12th or 13th that Kevin had. When she comes off the list, we'll race her at that point. We'll take her over and train her a week from Tuesday. So we'll train her again in the race bike Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a mile in 2.5, 2.6. We'll take her over the following Tuesday and go a mile 58 at Mohawk and see how she feels. Where are we at after this? Stacy Hanover has been sold. Stacy Hanover was sold as a broodmare. She's now gone, which is a little surprising, but at the same time, I had an opportunity to recover some of the funds we put out for, or that I put out for Stacy Hanover. One of my partners on the horse, Steve, wanted to breed her. She's very well bred, and we came to an agreement. So Stacy Hanover is departing the stable on Monday. She'll be heading to be bred to Green Shoe. So keep an eye on that foal over the next couple of years. that was a jinx. That was Steve that just called me. Wow. Tanzanite Tricks will be racing this Thursday at Mohawk, and trained good this week, so I suspect she'll come out swinging this week. That's My Girl has been training fantastic, getting stronger, bigger, smarter. She's probably 2 weeks from going a fast mile. She'll be ready to go in 3, I would think. Sweet Ambitions raced great at Flamborough last night. Finished third in 2 minutes, trotted 2:1 and 4, but a good mile for her. She keeps getting better and better and better. Walk on the Moon is getting jumped over. Tipsy and Dixie, 2-5 with Tipsy and Dixie. Another problem, where do we race Tipsy? So hopefully they'll start writing some classes for 3-year-olds, where a horse like Tipsy's got 50,000 made, but I'm not racing her in the straight nominals of 3. Maybe, I suppose. She's going to need to trot in 58 first. So Tipsy and Dixie's very close. Walk on the Moon also getting closer. He's a little bit behind these horses as he missed some time, but not too far behind and looks great on the track. Where We Welcome is in to go tomorrow at Mohawk Raceway and has looked good. Well and Down will be racing in the Iron Maiden, I believe, coming up in 2 weeks' time. They didn't race her this week because if she won, she was ineligible. So left her out of the box to remain eligible for that series. That is coming up in 2 weeks. And then Won My Heart Hanover starts in the series in Pennsylvania with Tim. She's in it's 2 divisions. We have Aglariam in 1 division, and Won My Heart Hanover will be in the other division, hopefully. And both of those fillies coming in sharp as attack. Tim's done a great job with Won My Heart Hanover. Johnny's done a great job with Aglariam, and both of them now will be under the roof of Tim Twaddle, and very excited to see how they do in the 3-year-old series. The last series was 3 and up. This one is exclusively 3, so obviously in with their own company. So that is your 3-year-olds. I'll be back in just a minute with everything else.